Okay, we are back. So, you should have just gone through all the dialogue back in Hotel Krat. This area is kind of like the real start of the game. Again, it won't be for us because we're leveled out, basically. We're practically at 100%. But, yeah, now we get to start talking to Gemini.
I hate these guys. But don't be alarmed. My name is Gemini. We'll talk later, when we're safe.
So, first things first. No item over here. We're going to drop. We're going to take out this guy. So, as I said, this is kind of the get good area. You shouldn't really have too many problems going through this if you've done it already. If you're on new game, just follow this path, and this area should be pretty easy. Later on, it gets a little harder, but there's one guy that's like your first mini boss enemy, so that guy could be a little bit of a pain. One guy's gonna drop from up here. So right here is your shortcut. We won't be getting that for a little bit. Honestly, the layout for this is kind of weird, but it won't be too bad. Boop. Nice. So right here is going to be your first body part upgrade, if you will. So now we're at +2. Now yours is going to say +1. Mine's +2 because this is my third playthrough. So that's the only reason that it says that. You don't have to put it on. I just waited. So scaling wise, if you have one of the later items, which I do, nothing's going to beat that scale wise. So we're just waiting to get this item later on, so I'm gonna have this for the whole game. This really doesn't change until I get the +2. That's really it. Same with my amulets, because it scales accordingly. So right here you're gonna have a guy. I recommend just running past these two, just taking out this guy here. Whoa. Just because the guns. So, as I said, the only things that are really going to do a lot of damage to you in new game is ailments. So, like electricity, decay, disruption. Those are going to do the most damage. And then bullets. Anything long range does a crazy amount of damage. So, right here's the start. I didn't realize. I forgot. No lives left, you know? No lives left. We take out everyone. So, right here, we're going to go back. Here's an item. So this is going to be your first kind of like, I wouldn't say tough fight, but this guy gave me a couple problems in New Game. In New Game Plus, again, you won't really come across too much, especially if you have the upgrade. Because at this point, once they're down, you could basically just stagger the piss out of them. It's like, that's why this is so busted. As well as the fact that I have, you guys can't really see it, but I actually get Legion back 4 kills, which you get from the P organs. Really good to have. Again, I did not feel like the P organs were an absolute necessity, but you probably just put into whatever you feel like you need. Like, I didn't think that the cube or the coins was super important. I think the cube could be useful, but I just didn't find a use for it. Boom, ampule resistance. So this part can be a little dicey. Wait for this guy to come over here. Sprint on through, take this guy out. Boom. And there's going to be another guy right on this corner here. So as you saw, the blocking on this weapon is insane too. Like there's really nothing you can't block. And you also get health back with every hit, which again comes from the P organs, but still, if you have that, I mean, you're kind of set. Like, see, I already have my Legion on back. So this is the shortcut that takes us back to where this guy dropped down, if you remember. There's a guy right up there that dropped down on us. So if you keep going straight and take a right, it takes you back to the Stargazer. Right that way. That's the start. Now, also, I should have mentioned this, but again, if you're following along, you would know this. Right? One of the achievements for your platinum is to get all of the weapons in the game. Make sure you keep this on you. I'm going to get the amulet just because I don't have it, but if you don't have the weapon, make sure that you keep it on you and buy the weapon later. We have to unlock, what's his name, Aldero or whatever, so that we can get boss weapons and amulets, but we got some time before that happens. So what I did there was I grabbed that item and jumped backwards because that guy throws stuff down at you. So make sure you're practicing those perfect blocks because later on in the game, they're basically required. New Game Plus, as I said, is like the where this game gets a little... It really starts testing the better players. Ooh. Like, see, that was terrible. So before we go up, let's take out this guy. Now, as you can see, this weapon is not great in tight corridors. But this is really the only area where tight corridors really matter. Mainly because they don't expect you to have a weapon this heavy at the beginning of the game. Grab this Fable Catalyst. We're gonna grab this, drop on down. So, if you go out here and you take a left, this is where you would go. Make sure you read that so that you get remembrance. So this is the guy that we just took out. Right? That's where we just came from. Okay, this guy can be a little brutal. He's not terribly hard. The trick is to kind of loop around him. But again, we start off with just a nice big stun him. Now this guy you can actually stun really easily like that. Like you can get a couple hits in before he really can do anything. Like, it's ridiculous how much damage this thing does. So there's the life amulet. There's no life +1 amulet until much later. And you should have the butterfly amulet by now. Which is this one that you get from Venigi's puppet in the first game. By the end of the first playthrough. If you don't have this, just use whatever you need. Like if it's your first playthrough, just use whatever works best for you. Talk to the merchant. Buy the golden record, which I don't need. I already have one, so we're good in that regard. But this is where you would buy the electric coil. So if you are doing a strength build on your new game, definitely use this. It has a really good electric ability that allows you to do basically double damage output because of the stacking. And then it has rush smash, which does a lot of damage, but it's a little tough to use sometimes in fights. You'll notice if you haven't played this game, you'll notice that a lot of the enemies, especially bosses, are fast, whereas you're using kind of a slow attack. So you kind of have to really practice with your balancing in that regard. But like balancing when to attack, and when you're new to the game, it might be a little difficult to do. So don't worry about that guy first. We're going to take out this guy. Oh, I accidentally hit him. That's hilarious. I hit that guy in one shot. Wow. I backhanded this guy by accident. Okay. Take out that guy. Take out this guy. So the running spin attack with this weapon works phenomenally well. So use it whenever you can. Now we're going to deal with our first butterfly. So whenever your lantern turns red, that means that there's a butterfly nearby. So butterflies are like crystal lizards from Dark Souls if you play Dark Souls. If not, these guys last a lot longer than crystal lizards, and you can just kind of just rail them. And they'll drop rare materials.
Is that a butterfly? Why?
So we won't go that way just yet. We're actually going to go down instead.
Check it out. I can take points.
You know, I realized I totally should have rested, but... And I totally forgot to, but you know, it will be okay. I don't really have to go... yeah, we should be good. I doubt it. I get a lot of pulse back anyway. So these things you don't have to break. They explode electricity. You can use them to your advantage in New Game, but at New Game Plus, I don't really see that much of a point. Ooh. And that is why this weapon is so overpowered. So I don't think that guy respawns. I could be wrong on that. But roll through that and then just make sure you don't stand on it. That's the trap that I was just telling you about. There's the converter +2. Again, I won't be using that. In fact, I'm probably going to sell a good portion of those. Nice. Okay. Talk to this kid. He'll say, hey, I need you to find Murphy. We'll get to that later. Just make sure that you... talk to him. Let's go on through. Boom. It just does so much damage. So that's the shortcut. We'll grab that in a second. We don't really need it right now. Grab this and then swing on this dog. Big swing. Just watch out for the... electricity. Nice. Go all the way through. Boom. Oh, I forgot about you. My cat's just looking at me all funny. She's like, why are you still recording at 1 a.m.? So, we've pretty much cleared all this out. I'm 99% sure we got everything. Except for this item right here. This one's not an important item, so... If it's a radiant ergo, at least it's there. So even if you don't get the same thing as me, I think all the locations are the same. So as long as you're looking around, you'll find everything that you need. But now we're back up here. This is the back ladder. This is where we killed the butterfly. Keep going straight. Take a left. You can read all of these. Only one of them in the game is actually like important, which we're coming up to fairly soon. But talk to this lady. She says, please find my baby. Say yes, just plow through the A button. We have to find her baby. So this is the first guy that'll give you like legit problems. I recommend bait him to here. We're actually going to get the shortcut first and then fight him. He's stronger than the first one. He's not like the tutorial guy that we saw. This is like a legitimate mini boss for an item. Specifically the baton. So you can grab that, torn doodle, go through it. Run on through. Wait for this to break. Now these guys can be a little difficult, but just roll through them, hit the repair lever. They won't come any further. Maybe the dog will. I don't even know. I actually am going to rest on this one. So I repaired it, and now we're going to head on up. And this will take us back to the Stargazer. Right, this is the merchant where you can buy the golden golden records from. So rest on up. I think I have, yeah. Oh, so one thing I should recommend, I apologize. If you're on new game, you can't level up here. You have to level up back at Hotel Krot. So all you would do is go to teleport and then hit X to go back to Hotel Krot. In New Game Plus, you do not have to do that, which is a really nice feature. It's kind of like the thank you for playing sort of deal. Well, thank you. You made it through the game, so we'll let you level wherever you want, which is a really nice feature in my opinion. It also lets you do any upgrades that you have to do. We haven't really talked about upgrades yet, but by now you probably don't even have anything to... You don't really have the materials to upgrade too high. But yeah, I recommend, if it's new game, you max out your coil, the coil that you buy off the merchant above us. If you're on New Game Plus, you probably already have a weapon maxed, which is ideally the club, but... Okay. Grab this. So this is the shortcut back to those dogs that we fought. There's those the electric things. So let's tackle this guy. Now this guy, again, he can be rough. I have full ergo, but I just do this. Stagger the shit out of him. So that gives you the police baton. Not a great item. In fact, I didn't really like it when I used it. As you know, well, we'll get to that after this fight. This is where we fight our first human. Now, this fight actually, in the second playthrough, this actually gave me a couple problems. And I think that's just because I wasn't used to the slower weapon. But it's not too bad.
Come out, Geppetto! You've got a lot to answer for!
Don't you talk to my daddy like that.
You know what's your... Wait, you can't sneak past me! Die!
So he attacks pretty slow, but he'll hit you pretty damn hard. So I'm going to use my grindstone. If you don't have this ability, not a big deal.
I'll kill you both, then string you up on the bridge.
Oh. So see, that's just bad on my part. So you can actually break his weapon, which I did the first time. But again, you will see, damage-wise, we'll be okay. So I like to get an extra heavy hit in and then stagger. So when he's on the ground, once he gets up, I can just stagger him again. Oh, wow. But he got up way faster than I anticipated. Yeah, so you can't grapple this guy, which is fine. Oh, that's right. You can also get behind him and backstab him. Helps a lot if you're using a much faster weapon. But as you can see, this guy, with this slow weapon, it's a lot harder to do. And there you go. Not bad. So that's kind of the midway boss. The next boss is right up ahead. But so we get the Krat City Hall key as well as some apparel. But more importantly, you will get the Enigma assembly tool. So this allows you to take the weapons and basically split them up and put them, like you can take the handle of a certain weapon and then put the head of a different weapon on it. I'm going to be honest with you. I tried a couple combinations. I didn't like any of them. I didn't feel like any were that worth it. I think once you get the S tier weapons, you're like the boss weapons, you're kind of set. You don't really need basic weapons after that. Plus, I also felt like the weapon, just the starting weapons, like base weapons unassembled, like Mjolnir or whatever, like everything that you get was more than enough. Like I didn't feel like I had to do any assembling. I'm sure maybe someone has like some crazy build out there, but I just didn't think it was that worth it. So this area is really short. What are we at? 45? So what is this? 15-minute video probably? We'll fight this boss. Now this boss can be a little bit of a pain. We'll probably end up arresting. But, oh, I totally forgot about that guy. Yeah, you're supposed to drop down and nail that guy first. Like from the drop. Ooh, good hits. I'll give you that. Yeah, those guys, because of the speed, like your swing speed, it's tough to fight fast guys like that. But when you get the damage in that you want, I mean, it's heavenly. I don't know why I said heavenly. Ooh, I died. Good hits, good hits. We'll do that the right way. As I said, this area is pretty dang short, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm kind of like half-assing it, to be honest with you, just because we're doing so much damage. Dying in this... Okay, so actually, it's a good example of dying for those of you that are new to the game. So if you look in the top right, that's how many souls that we have missing from our inventory. You can get those back, but every time you get hit by an enemy, it goes down by a certain amount based on the damage that they deal. So you can always get it back. So if a guy hits you, and then you can make back the money, the ergo, as it's called in this game. So see how it just went down twice. So now I'm at 24. Look, when I kill him, it takes me right back to where I was at. So that's kind of... As long as you don't die again, you're fine. If you die twice, then it's a little bit of a problem. Oh, and if you take any... like electric damage, if you will. Like any ailments, that's gone forever, but it's fine. Again, at this point, if in New Game Plus, once you've hit all your caps, you don't really care that much about the souls themselves. Man, like I can't... Oh, that's another thing I noticed, and I forgot to mention that when we started this playthrough. I noticed that a lot of enemy attack patterns, like, drastically changed. Like, all of a sudden, some of the bosses who had, like, these triple attack patterns, all of a sudden had, like, 8 attack patterns. I was like, what the hell is this? And I think towards the end, the bosses are completely random attack. Like, I think the AI, again, I could be wrong on this, but it definitely felt different. The last boss, which, again, I won't spoil it, one of the last bosses, I felt like his attack pattern was completely different from the first, from just regular New Game. So this is the shortcut back. I might just rest and get some health back, because why not? Maybe throw in a level.
So about the finding.
We'll get our technique to 20. Man. Dang. So, take a left first. Grab this item. Crowd news. So this guy can be slightly difficult just because he's a headless version of the guy that we fought before. Again, as long as you have this, just hit him with the heaviest hits that you have. Keep him on the ground. You did more than half, so boom, extra hit. Boom, knock him down again. And then just hit him with a heavy. Star Fragment. So Star Fragments are pretty important. Those allow you to use NPCs during boss fights. I'll tell you which ones you will want the
No survivors here.
Star Fragments for. There's really only 1 or 2 bosses where you don't need an NPC. But we just picked up the baby, and that baby is what we give to the woman. We'll get to that in a second. We won't do that right now. We'll do that after this boss fight. Chest over here. So red chests are always like items, usually for your body or something. Yeah, amulets or whatever. Black ones are the ones that are more so like quest line oriented or super important. But this is where you would put any star fragments. So I have 99. Again, new game, you'll be fine in the sense of you'll probably beat the boss before that. If not, so if you remember, for those of you that don't know, enemies scale according to if you have an NPC or not. So they'll have more health and do slightly more damage. I think it's in most Souls games, I think it's 0.2% more. Or I'm sorry, I think it's 1.2 times as difficult if you have, depending on how many NPCs you have. In this, you can only have one NPC per boss. So, yeah. Honestly, the NPC in this is just used for basically keeping the enemy off you so you can just get some heavy hits in. That's really it. You don't really care if the NPC dies or not. Skip. Boom. So I'm going to use my stagger ability. This is a one-phase boss. He kind of has a midway point, but just dodge whenever you can. Heavy hit. Ooh. Oh, wow, I actually got that. Ooh. So that's kind of his second phase where he gets all electric like that. Woo. So see how he's on my NPC? That's when you want to just get in there and start wrecking him. Poor NPC. Just like that, just staggered the shit out of him, dude. Eliminated. So you get some quartz, you get the small wooden officer puppet, which is what you need for the NPC. The little boy. You also want to come over here and you want to grab the whistle, so the faded whistle. Don't go on ahead just yet. We're going to go back and we're going to finish those side quests, and then we're going to end it there. And then we'll move on to the next part, so that you'll be pretty much done with this first area of this part. Oh, don't worry about the golden tree coins if you're on a new game plus, or if you're on new game, because it won't help you very much. But we want to teleport back to the last place that we were, the last, like where the boulevard, basically, inside the house of the Elysian Boulevard. As you can see, this game's very good about telling you when an NPC needs to be talked to, but the hard part about this is picking the right answers. So that's what I'm going to show you guys. Oh, like see how much damage that shot does? The shots do more damage than the like physical weapons, physical damage. Not good. Ah, man. I was really hoping I can shoot him. Boom. Poor guy. You could clear this out. No one's attacking, but If one attacks, you just clear it out. So all we want to do is we want to go to the collectibles and use the faded whistle. He'll say, is that you, Murphy?
I miss Zach and Sophie and Eric.
Yeah, you're dying. Just die already. We don't need you anymore.
I wish we could all
Just
play.
give me what I need. There we go. So with that, oh, also you may be wondering why my hair's gray. That's because I've already gotten the true ending. I just didn't get I screwed up in my last playthrough. That's basically what it is. But if you have black hair, don't worry about it. We'll get you that white hair that you want. That silver fox hair. So you can keep, you can use this again, I believe. Yeah, okay. So if it doesn't do anything, you're good. You get to keep the item, which is the toy soldier, just as a memento. But we're going to go up, and now we're going to go give the lady her baby. Now, this is the important one because you want to tell her that her baby is beautiful rather than that it's a puppet. We don't want to tell the truth. We want to lie. And let me tell you something. It sounds easy to do, but for some reason, there's a bunch of times where I wanted to be nice and tell the truth, but you can't do that for the golden lie. So talk to her. Just go through all of it. Isn't she adorable? Instead of saying that's a puppet, you want to say she's a cute baby. So as you can see, this guy does not respawn. Wow, it's amazing how much damage that does. Another star fragment. See, you'll get so many star fragments, it's not even funny. So at this point, let's shall we finish up? Yeah, let's finish up Hotel Krat too, because there's going to be some NPC things that we have to do there. As you guys know, we found Geppetto, so now we can start putting in some P organs. If you're on New Game Plus, if not, you'll have to wait on P organs because you need quartz. Quartz is what is used to upgrade P organs. You'll get to that later, but for right now, we're going to head on back to Hotel Krat. And we'll do some, talk to some peeps. So talk to Sophia first, just so she tells you. Talk. We've already gone through all of her stuff, so we're good. So this is the lady Eugenia. Yeah. So the first boss, the first two bosses actually, like two main bosses, will give you your new Legion arms. So we've already gotten all the Legion arms, but just buy whatever you need. Again, I strongly recommend the puppet string if it's your first one, just because the puppet string I think is very overpowered in its ability, especially with the stagger ability. So I don't like Aegis is pretty good, but truth be told, if instead of blocking, Aegis is a shield for those of you that don't know. Aegis is, it's good, but like if you can't perfect block by this point, Aegis isn't really gonna help you much. So let's talk to Geppetto.
Speaking of my friend,
he's gonna be like, yo, you actually have a beating heart.
remember, be careful.
Yep. So this is where we can start putting in our oh wow, there's a phase 7. How many phases are there? Dear God, I thought it ended at 6. You're telling me I can get another amulet slot? Well, that's what I'm going to work towards. Jesus. I wonder why they did that. Okay, well, that's what we're going to work on. Fury, guard attack. Oh, that's pretty nice. So that lets you... Okay, either way. So if this is new game, start working towards all these. So you just need to make 1 attack and 1 defense. So all these are your... abilities. Is like these activate once you fill out a full circle, so wait till you have 3 quartz and then get what you need. So I'm definitely gonna wait until I have 4 so I can start like I thought I was gonna have to do these crappy ones, which are all the boxes like the cube that you get later in the game, but instead I'm just gonna max out these are freaking nuts. I can get a 5th amulet slot. Are you joking? And reduce my weight. That's stupid, but either way, we'll get to that. That's actually fun as hell. I might see what tier 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 looks like. You never know. I have to do 2 more playthroughs after this. Anyways, so we're gonna hold out on P organs, but just get whatever you need. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what to get because it's really just whatever your build's based on. But yeah, so at that point, I'm gonna level up and we will end it there, and I will see you back at the last boss area.